Good evening or good morning, should I say, to IRAD. You're the first. Very quick one. I've literally done this one because I'm passing a bit of time. I'm staying up for the next E3 show at silly o'clock. Um, I know a few of you is going to be dying to ask some Xbox questions. Firstly, I'm actually doing this to test this microphone. As you guys know, I've been testing some headsets and stuff in the last few days. What I'm going to say now, little did I know that in my cupboard of doom that's got shitloads of boxes just piled high, I had a headset, which is these, and they called the Hyperclad headsets. Little did I know, they're actually 70 quid value gaming headsets, like one of the highest rated headsets you can get for gaming. I had no fucking clue, not a clue at all. Thing is, when I've been testing these headsets, right, this is it, Craig, and this is the thing that's really fucking annoying me. So if you can just bear with me, just tell me now if it's so overpowering you can't hear me, I'll just switch back to my other one. But I want to ask you guys' opinions because it's like so fucking doesn't make sense. I can't explain it, and I would like some feedback on it. So if you can just put up with this for 5 minutes, please do so. But if it is buzzing to an extent that it's making it really uncomfortable, just let me know in the chat and I'll swap. But I'll tell you what the problem is, and this is it, so bear with me. As you guys know, I have a Nikon controller. Very expensive, 70 quid elite controllers. They're wired, they have to be wired. 3.5 jack for all the chat audio and what have you, no problem. Now, I'm going to start with this. The streams I have been using are basically this really cheap King Top £15 headset. That's the one I use. It comes with an inline cord that is attached, can't change, can't remove the microphone, 3.5 jack on the end. This one is the default one, which I'll switch back to in a second, just so you can get a point. In fact, I'll do it now, then I can finish my chat and you can be more comfy. So here we go. I think, Alan, you had it loud last time, mate, I think, if I remember rightly. But anyway, this is where I want some help. So you've just witnessed this Hyperclad, top range, 70 quid gaming headset. Plugged into the Nikon. Buzzers like fuck, as you've just heard. This one is a 15 quid, cheap as shit headset. So right, this is where I want help. Now what I might do, just to do a 100% test, I'm going to get the DualShock 4 controller in a second and actually do the same thing. But I want you to answer me this question, guys, because I can't fucking answer this. Now I am contemplating sending this controller back to shop 2, okay? Because I'm buying headsets, in theory, that are buzzing. Now, as you guys know, this week I have bought and tried 3 cheap headsets because the cable on this one is actually starting to fray. So it's going to go at some point. We'll come to the answers in a minute, Aj, because I get where you're coming from, but I want to make a point and a question. So at some point, I do fear these are going to go to the fucking headphone man in the sky. But by the by, so please answer me this then. 4 different headsets I've tried this week alone. They're going back to Amazon. I've got 1 set ready to return tomorrow. That's the 3rd in 3 days. I keep buying a cheap set of headphones just to replace these, just so I can stream. And as I say, I didn't realise that I'd got now these 70 fucking quid. Top range, Cloud HyperX if you want to search them. 5-star reviews everywhere. They've got 53mm drivers in, by the way. 53mm drivers are the highest mil drivers I've got. Even £300 headphones don't have 53mm drivers, they have 50. So you can tell the sound quality of a headphone is second to none. So I'll come back to this problem. Right, thanks for the feedback. What I'm going to do now then, now I want your answers. I've tried 4 different headsets, but whenever I go back to this, cheap as shit, the one and only, it's clear as a fucking bell. So then you say, well, is it the controller? It can't be, okay? So, wireless won't buzz unless it's plugged in charging. Right, I'm on a Nikon controller that has to be wired. So just bear with me, Pump, and I'll get to you, mate. It has to be wired. Now, this is my point. Every other headset this week buzzes when plugged into this. Okay? So why doesn't this one? Why the fuck doesn't this one buzz? This is clear as a bell. You're hearing it now. Okay? This is a cheap £15 headset. That's a 70 quid one. I've tried a 25 quid one, a 30 quid one, 4 days this week. And I'll tell you the way I'll tell you this. The way I test it to myself before coming on the stream, I go into my chat on the PlayStation and I pick any chat that I've been chatting with one of you guys and I record a message. I know what it sounds like because I've heard it. Right? Yeah, but it's Pump. I've tried different ones. I've tried ones ranging from this 15 quid to 80 quid. Every other headset buzzes except this one. But I'm going to prove a point. But just bear with me. I'll carry on what I was saying. Now, when I test them myself by doing the chat, recording and listening back, I know instantly they're going to be really shit because I can hear the crackling. So I can hear what you guys are hearing, and I understand. It's unlistenable. But I can't fucking work it out. I really can't work it out. That why this one cheap headset with just a standard 3.5 jack like all the others is perfect. But 4 other headsets this week have all got the buzzing. And this is my point. It's the same buzzing. It's the same noise, the same level, which kind of made me think, well, is it the controller? But it can't be the controller, because if it was... That's just come out. Right, hold on. And that proves a point. And this is why I don't like these. Let me just tell you now, you guys saying no sound, that had literally come out of this Nikon by a millimetre. I think this is shit. But I'm going to prove a point. I'm going to get up and get my DualShock, okay? Yeah, that's just because literally that came out a fucking millimetre. I didn't even realise it was out. So I'm going to get my DualShock. Bear with. So radio. I've got my DualShock. So bear with me. I'm going to start this one and put this headset back in this one. So 2 minutes. Now we're all tangled up to fuck. So okay, I take it you can hear me, guys. Can you hear me fine? This is back on the DualShock. Just let me know that when you tell me when you've got my audio back, and then I will swap out the other one. It'll answer a question. If I obviously get this £70 headset and drop it in here. So there's buzzing on this one now. So this is the DualShock. Okay? So you tell me... Right, so this actually baffles us all even more then. So why is this buzzing on the original Dual shock. Yeah? Let me get the other one. So I'm now back on this one. On a DualShock. So in theory, if this is the Nacon, this should be perfectly fine. You should be hearing me okay. Okay, it's going to be a different quality because we don't know our microphones. I don't know our microphone. You know, you obviously get a different quality microphone. So in theory, if this headset has no buzzing and you can hear it, yeah, right. So that proves that that Nacon controller is bollocks. And for some reason, it just lets that cheap headset work, but lets no other headset work. I mean, you've also got to appreciate as well, guys, I think, we all know this, you're not going to get crystal clear clarity. You know, you're not going to get any clarity at all. Right, so Alan, you're getting buzzing right now. Now let me just talk to Alan a second. Nobody else just interject for a second. So Alan, you're the one that's hearing the buzzing, it seems, more than anybody. You've probably got headphones in, I'm guessing. Or you've got some decent headphones in. So you're saying you're hearing buzzing right now on this DualShock with this expensive headset. Now Craig says he's not. You see, the way I could test it myself personally is I could go into my chat, write a chat message with this one, listen back. Now what I'm saying is, like Michael's just hit on, you do get feedback with all headsets, whether they are £500, whether they're £10, okay? What you guys are saying to me now, I'm guessing it's not buzzing, it's just a different quality than the other one. Yeah? I'm guessing that's right. So in theory then, we're kind of breaking it down. It looks like that Nacon doesn't like a lot of headsets. Now I'm reading online that one of the... So I'll tell you what, I'll throw something out to you quite simple, guys. Would you say right now, if I was doing a nightly stream with this headset, you'd be happy and fine? It would not bother you at all. I think that's the kind of question as well. You have a loud crackling on my iPhone and PC. Alan, it's boiling down to you, mate. You're the cause of this. You're causing it. So, I think in theory, we are kind of breaking it down slightly, that the Nacon is reportedly got quite a few problems with. In fact, I will tell you this. When the time comes when somebody bought this for the show, actually, as a support for the show, but they gave me a choice. So when I was weighing up the choices, it was either between that one or the other Elite controller, because PlayStation mysteriously have done 2 deals with 2 things. And I will say, just before I pulled the trigger and I was reading up on the things, it actually says that that Nacon controller does have problems. One with the actual wire going in to power it, which you must have on all the time, by the way. You cannot power that without that wire. So I was hearing a lot of people saying, well, put it this way, there was great feedback for it. It was like 4.5 stars wherever you look at it. But when you review any product, you do get the odd ones that obviously have problems. Alexa's quite away. Alexa's like 5 feet away. Alexa, stop. There's no other, there's no other thing anyway. But the downside scores for the Nacon either pointed to 2 things. People were getting the wires broken, and the wire that the powered wire was getting broken, and then the other ones were reporting the headphone socket and the mic controls a little bit shit. Right, so you've now changed your devices and you are still getting crackling. So why are you only getting crackling? Let me just throw it open to the room then, just to try and verify. Is anybody else listening through earbuds or headphones? So you've got a close, you know, you're in a close, really good listening environment. And if you are, one, are you getting any crackling? Two, is it listenable? You see, again, this just doesn't make sense. So now Craig's got crackling. So why? Why are we suddenly getting this? I'm still getting it on YouTube, no headphones, but it sounds good. So now you've all getting the crackling back. Don't make sense, does it? So there is crackling still. So you're getting crackling. So okay, now I'll throw this open to the room then. Why am I getting this? Because don't forget, we're on the DualShock. We're on the DualShock. Okay? Let me turn back to the good one. So don't forget, this is the cheap headset that works the best of all of them, both on the Nikon and on the DualShock. So the bottom line of all this is, for some reason, this headset and this headset alone works fucking fine on either controller. Okay? Every other headset I've thrown at it doesn't. So you're now saying you're getting crackling on this one as well then? So okay then guys, I'll tell you what then. I'll throw it open to the entire room then now. What the fuck do I do? You know what I mean? What do I do? This is on a DualShock. Even if I didn't possess an extra expensive controller, what do I do? Why are we getting crackling? This is wireless. This is obviously... Yeah, the voice... Just 1 second. 1 second. Yeah. Right. I'll turn the microphone down. I'm in microphone settings, and I can actually hear what you hear. Now I'm telling you now, my voice is a very nice loudness. I'll just move the mic. Mine is a very nice level. There is absolutely no background noise at all. So I'm in the PlayStation microphone settings, and its clarity is perfect. So did you get that? Because now I've just gone and I've gone and done that. So you're saying, Alan, you think it's... I mean, you're all now sat in the room. What I've done, I've just lowered the microphone setting down, because you've got a microphone adjust in your PlayStation settings. And I will say on this point, it's something I do mess about with quite a lot. Obviously doing streaming and doing chatting, so I'm in there quite a lot. And I will say it's one of the most sensitive things ever. If you want to check it yourselves, guys, one day, just press and hold your PlayStation button, go into sounds and devices, scroll down, and it says microphone level. Click it, and you have a slider bar. Now, this is working fine, and I thought it would do. Try the cheap, shitty one that came in the box. You don't mean that blue thing, do you? Fucking hell, I wouldn't know where that is if I got one. If I found one. But at least it's listenable now. Anyway, let's go with this. I'm going to throw it open to you guys now, because it's becoming frustrating. Because also, right, let me read what wired pad with good headphones is what's causing the problem. How do you work that one out then, Pump Painty? I'm on a DualShock 4, not wired, with the good headset.
So that your theory there is blown out the water. It's not wired. I'm using the controller that everybody, or 99% of people, use. A wireless DualShock that's not cabled, that's just got the 3.5 jack of what we are calling the good headset. Now I'm guessing this is acceptable to you guys. It's only because we're trying to pick it apart and trying to narrow it. What I'm saying is, yeah, right. Okay, so you're saying then the Nacon, but your theory still doesn't work. You see, your theory still doesn't work because if I take the good headset and use it on the Nacon, it's perfectly fine. It's what I stream with every night. It's You've just heard it yourself. It's fine. So if your theory of having a wired controller, it can't be. Now, we are, no, right, Michael, yeah, I know we're getting picky and you probably, like I'm saying, but the problem's this, okay? So the problem is, right, okay, but you're right then, Albert, let me put this to another thing. The problem is this. This really cheap one that works fine on both, and even better on the Nacon, the default one I go to, it's going to break soon. It's fraying. That's my whole point of trying some just cheap headsets just so I can stream every night to you guys. Okay? But this is my problem. Oh, right, Alan, well spotted. Just Google, just Google this set to shut off your PS4, reset your router for 5 minutes. And he was having the same problem with 3 different headphones. Really? I have the same problem. It's a common problem when you play online. Common problem when you play online. And charge the pad at the same time. Where is the silver mic you had a while back? You mean the Yeti? Let me tell you now. The Yeti that I record the show with, I can actually try. I can connect that if with no problem. But actually, I'm going to throw something out to the room right now. Ricky, when he chats with me on the PlayStation 4, it's one of my big bugbears because he uses his Yeti. And the Yeti has a fucking awful thing that, as soon as he stops speaking, it completely cuts off every noise. It's literally like you've got a switch and gone, 1, 2, 3, 4, I'm going to stop talking now, click, off. Then I talk. Then when he's ready to talk, it's like you go, click, right, I'm back, Toz, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The Yeti does work, but it's got such a fucking annoying little thing in the background, I think it would drive you mad. I really believe it would drive you mad. Yeah, good night, Michael. I know it's a late one because I'm only doing this one to try and see if I can pick your guys' brains with these headsets. So, all in all, what's your guys' theories? What would you guys do in my position? I know there's a few of you with different philosophies and answers. What would you do in my position? I've now found an expensive headset that, for all means and purposes, I've no need to buy another one. It's a top-range gaming headset. It should do the job. Okay? But you've just told me when that was plugged in here, the quality of the mic was shit. Because don't forget, this is the default. If I send that Nacon back and get a refund, I'm sat with this. So you're basically going to say it's what you're going to get. A lot of sites are saying resets. I will try that later. I will try that. I'm not disagreeing with it, but I can't see how resetting a router is going to do a microphone crackling problem. I really can't. I suppose the answer is as well. I could buy one of the new PlayStation wireless ones. Right, so Josh is saying Pump's theory is right, the same happened to me. So what are we saying, guys? Are we saying that having the Nacon... Right, so you're saying it's... And I agree, this sounds fine when I've just tested the microphone and message. So default on this, but this is my point, Albert. This is the original cheap headset that's going to break at some point, which has started this whole bus rolling. Because I thought to myself, well, I best grab a cheap headset to be able to continue my streams. Because if it breaks one night, I'm fucked. I've got no headset. But like I said, I've just found this expensive one. And that's what's weird. Why is it happening to me? I don't get why it's happening. Delete the internet connection and then reconnect on your PS4. I'll tell you what would be a good test actually. I could just either, if I'm on a wired connection, change to wireless. And if I'm on a wireless, I change back to cable. That would cure it because it would reset the whole internet connection, I guess. Right, if you were to plug the DualShock pad into charge with a good headset, that would also buzz. Right, so yeah, you're saying then if I plug this in, I tell you what, do you want to test it? Because I've got my cable right in front of me. So if I get my USB cable that's plugged in and plug it in here, you're saying then pump, it's going to start buzzing and crackling. Yeah? Bear with. Because it's right here. That is the cable that charges my DualShock plugged in to there. Are you ready? That's now plugged in, charging. So if your theory is correct then, pump, you are saying now I should now be getting crackling with this microphone because it's wired to my console. But cheap headsets won't buzz. Why won't they? How does that make sense? But I'll put something else to you, pump. I mean, I could get up and get that box one I've got sent. Right, so there's a slight buzz. So we have got a bit of buzz then. But let me put something to you then. Obviously, there is a bit of arcing and a bit of power feedback coming from this. So that will stop the buzzing. Okay, so you now hear me without the slight buzz caused by power. That's the thing. We need to make Toss get up a few more times. Just don't start pissing me off because I need to sort this out. Right, okay, so I've removed it and the buzzers are gone. So if your theory is right then, okay, if I pick this up, the expensive one, and plug it into my DualShock without it now being wired because I've removed it, should be no problem. Should be fuck all problems because it's not wired. This is an expensive headset. So you're saying now it's still buzzing? I give up. And this is why, guys, this is why I've started this predicament. I want to know what's causing it. What the fuck is causing this problem? It does not make sense at all. It really does not make sense, and it's fucking annoying. As you can well, you know, as you guys can obviously tell, it is fucking annoying. It should not be doing it. Why is it doing it? And it really doesn't make sense. You see the killer in all this? This is what I think is the baffling. Yeah, and again, Adge, that's going to happen. It's like the old, you know, it's the old rattling in the car syndrome. We all know that. I've spoke about it on the show before. You know, when you're in the car and the missus says, "Oh, what's that rattling?" And you've never fucking heard any rattling, right? And then since the missus says it, you'll forever hear a fucking rattling. So I agree. Right, Google crackling on PS4 headsets while streaming. You will get the results I got. I will have a look at it, Alan. I will agree, mate. I mean, I could literally now, if you want to test it, I could literally stop this stream, go into my settings, either choose wired or wireless, the opposite of what I'm on, which will then reset the connection. Okay? So let me try that then. Do you want me to try that? I mean, I appreciate you guys helping. It's just something I'm fucking passing time with. So I'll tell you what I'm going to do. This is the theory. Now I'm going to stay with the cheap headset because we can test both when I come back on. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to stop this stream. I'm going to go into my settings on my PS4. I'm going to change the connection of my internet. Makes no difference to me because I'm on a good internet anyway. So if it's wired, I'll change it to wireless. If it's wireless, I'll change it to wired, which will reset the internet, as you guys are saying, Alan. You're saying that's the theory. I will then restart the PlayStation totally. So I'll do a double take. I will then also come back on the stream, but I'll come back on the stream with default DualShock connected to the cheap headset. I won't change anything, okay? Right, so the point's this, and that's what I'm going to say. You're saying, I'll tell you what I'll do then, Alan. I'll do both. So bear with me for 5 minutes. I'm going to switch off. I'm going to change my connection on the PlayStation. Why I'm changing that, I'm going to reset my router. I'm going to press the button. I'm going to reset it. I'm going to come back. So we're going to be on a reset router. And we're going to be on an opposite internet connection. Okay? So, be back in 5 minutes. Appreciate your help. If this doesn't fix it, fuck knows what will. But when I do come back, I will be on this DualShock with the cheap headset, and then we'll try the other one. Okay? So bear with me 5 minutes, guys. I'm going to do all what we've just said to test it. It's as good a time as any. You aren't sitting near anything that could be causing feedback. No, I'm not, mate. Not at all. I'm on a couch. I've got no electric things near. Not any. The nearest power socket to me is 4 foot away that way, 6 foot away that way. So I'm near no power. But I'm going to do that now anyway. Bear with me, guys. 5 minutes. I'll be back and we'll do a good test. So I really appreciate this. I really do. So give me 5 minutes.